Hello and welcome back to the Art Song course here at Missouri Valley. Today we are moving from the Pennsylvanian Stephen Foster to another Pennsylvania native, Samuel Barber. The readings feature considerably less about Barber's life, so we should be able to get through this pretty quickly. As always, there is additional information contained in the readings on Brightspace to help flesh out your assignments. Samuel Barber was born in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and tutored by his aunt and uncle, Louise and Sidney Homer. Barber was ambitious in his pursuit of music, composing an operetta, or short opera, named The Rose Tree at just 10 years old. He entered the Curtis Institute at age 14 and was given an award for a violin sonata at 18. At 21, he received recognition for his overture, The School for Scandal, and enjoyed notable performances of his first Essay for Orchestra and Adagio for Strings, arguably his most famous piece, when he was just 28 by the NBC Symphony Orchestra. While at Curtis, Barber befriended Giancarlo Menotti, and the two lived together in Italy from 1935 to 1937, while Barber was studying at the American Academy in Rome. He taught at the Curtis Institute from 1939 to 1942 and lived out the rest of his life living off of high-profile commissions. A more exhaustive list can be found in the Schrock reading, but some of the notable pieces and commissions were the Piano Sonata of 1949 that was commissioned by Irving Berlin and Richard Rodgers for the 25th anniversary of the League of Composers, the Opera of Vanessa, which won a Pulitzer Prize, and the Piano Concerto commissioned by the New York Philharmonic Orchestra for the opening of the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts in 1962. Barber composed very little throughout the 1970s before dying of cancer in 1981 at the age of 70. Barber was the most frequently performed American composer of his generation from about 1940 to 1960 alongside Aaron Copland. He composed a total of 106 songs for solo voice and piano and published 48 of them. His music is characterized by directness and simplicity, making it appealing and easy to understand. It does retain some European traditions, but it is typically defined as distinctly American. Virgil Thomson described his music as old wine in new bottles seems to be his aim. Barber's songs both belong to song cycles, the first being Sure on This Shining Night from 4 Songs, Opus 13, and the other being The Crucifixion from Hermit Songs, Opus 29. Both are staples in modern performance, being sung both by beginners and experienced performers for contests and auditions. Barber had a particular affinity for romantic texts and set James Agee's poem Sure on This Shining Night with a romantic lyric line, carefully crafted interplay between voice and piano, and classically oriented formal organization. The phrases are long and expressive, words set with natural accents, and produces flexible meters throughout the song in accordance with the length of the words and lines. The rhythmic pattern of the first vocal phrase repeats throughout the piece, and melodic material is performed in canonic fashion between the voice and piano at the beginning and end of the work. Barber employs a Brahmsian repetition of chords in the accompaniment, providing a dramatic intensity throughout the song. Hermit Songs is a cycle typical of the two major passions of Barber's life, Irish literature and poetry, and the searching for solitude to write. For the entire cycle, Barber chose 10 anonymous poems written by Irish monks from the 8th through the 12th centuries. These texts were mostly written in the margins of the manuscripts the monks were copying and weren't meant to be read or included. To highlight the rhythmic irregularities of the poetry, Barber does not include any metrical signatures throughout the cycle. The rhythms are meant to reflect the text flexibly. The Crucifixion is a song, predictably, about the death of Jesus and the immense pain that was endured by his mother. Barber uses a bird-like motive throughout the song, first heard in the introduction. It is haunting and beautiful and surprisingly difficult to perform. And that's all we have on Barber. We have one more composer left for America before our quiz at the end of next week. As always, reach out to me if you have any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. That's all for now. See you next week.